Hello YouTube, I'm Kaeden. Welcome back to episode 2 of Topia. Since the last episode, both Christmas and New Year's have gone by. For the holidays, I went around to each Topian's base and left them a diamond if they decorated for the holidays, and coal if they didn't. We also had a competition for decorating with all of the Topians voting for whose base decorations they liked best. Rory and Ellie were tied until the very end, when Rory won by a single vote. He'll be getting some diamond blocks for his efforts. After the holidays, I found a couple of strange boxes in my house that are apparently not from Albino. I opened up the shulker box and yeah, I don't even know what to say. I suddenly feel bad for only giving out single diamonds to players for the holidays. And I feel even worse because Albino's base wasn't decorated and I kinda gave him coal. The second box was a bit more mysterious, with only coordinates written inside. I suited up with my new elytra and hopped over to find this cool little area called a coal collector. Insert coal to win a prize. Okay, I'm game. Seriously? Off camera, I actually went back again, because I'm not sane apparently, and got a skeleton head from it, so there are some real prizes. To whoever built it, well done, you got me to actually use it twice. Also, over the last week, I decided to spend some quality time with my Enderman farm to get it operational. After all, I'm not making any diamonds and licenses if the farm isn't working. So I stocked up on ender pearls, grabbed a name tag, and got to work. Alright, first try. And things seem to be working fine now, with the Enderman trying to brutally murder Enderboy up there and falling down the hole at the perfect distance to only require a single bop to kill them. It's an absolute flood of XP, and I'm sure the other Topians will want to get a license to use it. Hint hint, nudge nudge. I also decided to pay the 2 diamond blocks apiece to buy 4 new chunks to add to my house, since I've got some cool plans for it. And apparently my new border makes for some good parkour. Who knew? Can I monetize that? Definitely something to file away for later. The added space will allow me to do a good-sized renovation, which is much needed as my starter house is way too full and I really have no room for the storage anymore. It's getting a little crazy. Everyone knows infrastructure is the name of the game in Minecraft if you want to have long-term success. So I scouted out a cool location to start my factory area, way out in the wilderness, 1,000 blocks from spawn. I'll use this area to put my farms together and do some cool builds to administrate it all. I went ahead and bought a wool farm as my second farm for 60 diamonds, and a food farming license so I can efficiently gather crops and breed cows for steak. The crops will mostly be used for trading with Damaga's villagers, and I throw them a shulker box full of crops every once in a while as a little thank you for the books. I was using an entity crammer for the steaks, but this turns out to be very inefficient. When new cows are born, the older ones die because only so many can exist in so small of a space. But then I'm stuck with fewer adult cows to breed and have to wait for the young ones to grow up. So I had an idea for a better system and I'd like to try it out. Yeah, that'll work. And I get even more stuff by using the Looting 3 sword. Thanks, Damaga. One of my biggest contributions to the server so far has been in the nether area. I built most of the original pathways between Topian house portals out of cobblestone so we could easily get around, and others added the stone brick and railings. But this wasn't really safe, with hoglins and piglins spawning all the time, so I wanted to make something a little bit nicer. I built these tunnels to connect to my own portal, but it slowly expanded out to include mine, Panic's, Ruri's, and Damaga's portals. It worked so well, I started to expand the network out to other places I visited frequently, like Damaga's villager farm, my industrial district, and an end portal. The ultimate goal is going to be to get these pathways as safe as possible for travel through the nether. And that means I need to start keeping track of this kind of thing. So I decided to form the Kaeden Nether Highway Authority, a public works program to build the safe nether highways to overworld destinations that we all deserve. To do that, I definitely need an office as the public face of the company. So here we go. I wanted to use as many nether elements as possible. After all, it is the Kaeden Nether Highway Authority. So I used crimson stem planks for the floor and the stems themselves for the ceiling, because I think it had a nice texture, and wrapped the whole thing in blackstone. The offices are going to have a place where people can put a request in to build a highway to a specific overworld location. If I feel that it's in the best public interest to have a nether highway that goes there, I'll go ahead and build it free of charge. This is going to be a free service for the Topians from me and the goodness of my heart. But I also wanted my fellow Topians to know I was doing this for free, so I made my own office a little cramped, deciding to change it up using the warped stems and planks for the aesthetic. With the interior finally done, I invited everyone else who was online at the time to come by and take a look. Ruri, Damaga, and Albino showed up to check it out. I showed them the interior, where all of the informative bits were, showed them my office, showed them where the map room is going to be, and the gardens outside, which Albino was actually nice enough to volunteer to help terraform. That's something he's actually very good at. Lastly, I showed them the book where they're going to be able to make requests of the KNHA, and if I think it's for the public good, I'll build a highway there. I think Albino already put something inside. Thank you so much for joining us in Topia. We're having a great time on this server. We hope you're having a good time watching and seeing the crazy stuff that we get up to. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time for more Topia.